enjoy.
I'm sorry. Again.
Oh, sorry.
No, that was me.
There,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I do enjoy Miyazaki's uh, work of art, so I enjoy his films.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that I am a big fan of anime or a big fan of this movie specifically, but I do enjoy.
All right. Okay. Well, very good. Yes, I think it is fantastic. In my opinion, this is really fantastic.
Oh
And-
yes, yes, one of the best.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then we're going to discuss that with some questions. And Luciana, what about you? Do you know the studio? I mean, do you know the studio, this Ghibli studio, and I don't know Miyazaki? I don't know, work of art, as Andrea said.
I'm not that big into anime movies. I love movies in general.
Okay.
So I've been meaning to watch this movie for a very long time, and all the other movies from the studio. But
Yeah.
I never got to do it because there are a lot of movies to see. Um, yes, too many movies. Sometimes I can't handle it. But I saw it because of this workshop, and I'm glad I did because it. I know it's a classic, and
Yes, it is.
even though I do not watch many anime movies, I would have seen this one because it is a classic in general.
Yeah.
So yes, I liked movie. Probably I will be watching more movies from the studio.
Yes, I think this studio particularly is quite prestigious. So, and well, um, Hayao Miyazaki, that is the director of this movie. Well, he's a well-known director. But well, there are many very nice movies directed by him. So well, let's start with this. Can you see my screen there?
Yes.
Okay, because I cannot see you. I don't know why. Well, so the name in English for this movie is Spirited Away. And well, I decided to choose one of the I think one of the most iconic phrases during the whole movie. That is, once you do something, you will never forget, even you can't remember. Do you know who said this phrase in the movie? Do you remember that?
I don't know, have no idea. If I have
Maybe
to make a
the
guess,
guy
I think it could be Haku. I don't know.
Haku.
Yes, I think. I
You are
don't
guessing, I believe.
know. Yes.
No, it was Siniva, one of the witches, one of the twins.
Oh,
Well, she said it almost
Um,
at yes, almost at the end of the movie. She said that. But well, I think it is a very nice phrase to analyze, and well, I think it is a big description of what the movie was about. But I want to start with the main character of this movie, not that one of the main topic, but the main character, that is
mhm.
Chihiro, right? Chihiro, you received some questions, some triggering questions. So what do you think about Chihiro? Wait a moment, because I cannot see you and I do not like that. Why? Mm, 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 mm,
I
mm.
think that her character, just like in many of this Studio Ghibli movies, is a female character that is empowered and there is so brave. Um, she is like different from any other characters that I have seen in any kind of movie before. I mean, nowadays Disney is producing those kind of films where you can see empowered women or empowered girls like breaking or going um, beyond the boundaries, right? Like showing girls how to
Yeah.
cope with different situations. but this has been done a long time before with this studio Ghibli. And Hero is not the exception. I think is one of the most representative characters in this line of film.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with you. And who was talking? Luciana. I'm sorry because I cannot see you. I don't know what happened, but well,
Andrea,
I will try to guide myself because of your voices. I believe it was Luciana, right?
Andrea.
No, it was Andrea.
Andrea, I'm sorry, Andrea. And then, okay, okay, Andrea. I believe that, well, I will try to guess your voices because I cannot
It's
see
all
you.
right.
Yeah, so Andrea, very good. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, yeah. I think well, I think that Miyazaki's characteristic is that he has presented in many of his movies a female character as a main character, right? But different from I think that the Western movies. But well, okay, Luciana, what do you think about Chihiro? Do you think that Chihiro is a role model in the movie? What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. Because I think uh, as a girl we can all identify with her a little. I don't know.
Ah,
Personally, I can feel identified with her because she at first is afraid um of of what happens to her in this new world that she doesn't know. But she has to learn to overcome the difficulties that she encounters, and
yes.
so I think that she gains strength through the
Mm,
whole story.
yeah.
And yes, it is a role model for everyone, especially for girls.
Yeah, little girls, because I think
Yes.
that she was almost 10 years old. She was a kid. Um,
I think
yes,
that for me,
yeah,
she says she's very intelligent at the beginning, before her trouble begins. That is, um,
yes,
when her parents want to eat all that food, and she says that food is not yours, and that was before her journey. So she was a very I'm not sure if intelligent is a word, but she was
she was, yeah, maybe she was more mature. She was mature in all senses. Yeah,
mature.
yeah. And then, well, we see the let's see the sins of her parents at the very
Mhm.
beginning. Yes, as you said, before the journey begins. Um, yeah, yeah, very good. So, Luz, what do you think about her? What do you think about Chihiro?
Uh,
Is a role model for you? Or what do you think about her?
yes, because she, as my other my friends here said, she's very brave, and and the character develops like in a more spiritual way then, and she is very young to do that, and her parents are gone, so I don't know. In her place, I would like be very desperate, and she was, but she was very brave to solve that problem, solve all the situations that she works. She goes to a journey with no face to find a witch and
Yeah.
everything. And I think she's like a heroine.
Yes. Imagine her meeting a whole new world for her.
Yes.
Spirits, I don't know, gods, goddesses, I don't know, many
Monsters.
monsters, many new things. And apart from that,
And
she had to work. So to
yes,
survive.
actually, I was about
And
to tell you that. Not only that, not only having the obligation of facing a new world, but also having the responsibility and the fate of her parents in her hands. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. Yes. So I think I don't know who said this. I think it was Luz. Like I don't know what I would do in her position if I had her situation in my hands. I don't know if I would be so that brave, but yes, it was. It was.
No, so just imagine this. Just imagine that situation. Imagine. So you are facing spirits. So only that, I think that it would be very different for us. And apart from that, the fantasy world created by Miyazaki is amazing. Now I'm going to show you some extract of the movie. It is only 1 minute. But before that, I want to ask you, so we spoke about this just a little bit. What do you think about this idea? Is it a coincidence that Miyazaki chooses her as the main character and not, for example, a boy?
I
And
don't think so.
why is that? Why do you why yes or why not? What do you think?
I think because he wants to break I mean, the rules. He doesn't want to go with the flow, and he doesn't want to choose. It's his election, maybe a political election, maybe a cultural election. Like he's choosing specifically something different to show, and to show new generations that it's okay to be like that. That we can go ahead and fight for our dreams and do adventurous activities and to feel empowered. I think it's a very wise election, and it's not just like
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. And what do you think, Luz? What do you think that is it a coincidence that the
I,
director chooses a girl, I mean a little girl, to
I follow
face
some fan pages of
uh-huh.
Djibouti, and there was I don't remember. They shared something that Miyazaki said, and he said something like he wanted to inspire girls to be their own heroines in their own stories. And then I read that he had like I can't remember. I'm like making up this, but maybe something changed. But I think it was a neighbor of him, a girl, and he met her. She was like 10, and she was like Chihiro, and he came up with this whole story. He was
Ah,
inspired by the girl. So yes,
look at
and he
that.
has a lot of movies where the main character are girls. So,
Yeah. Princess Mononoke, for example.
yeah,
yes,
If you haven't watched that movie, well, I
it's
recommend.
beautiful.
Yeah, it
And
is.
Ponyo too.
I
La
Ponyo,
Puta
yeah.
too. I'm
It's
sorry, but
lovely.
La Puta too.
Ponyo is
Yes, yeah.
lovely.
I think that one of my favorite, in fact, is Princess Mononoke. Yeah, and
Yes.
well, the main character again is the lady, is a woman. Um, Different from well, Luciana, what do you think about this? What do you think about choosing a little girl as the main character? Do you think is that a coincidence or not?
No, I think that he wanted to to tell the story through her through her experience as a little girl. I mean,
Yeah.
what I like about her is that again that she is a regular little girl. I mean, a girl that anyone, like I said before, anyone can feel identified with. I mean, uh, she's not a princess.
Yeah.
um, she's someone that where we can see ourselves in her. So I liked that about the character.
Yeah,
So,
that was was, I was thinking about that. Is there any difference between, I mean, this, I mean, Japanese movie, or the way Japanese people or director sees the world with the Western side, for example, Disney.
Yes.
Do you think that the stories are different? In which way?
Definitely.
I mean,
They
classic.
are more spiritual.
Well,
They are
yes, you're right.
they
Yeah.
base, for example, Makoto Shinkai's movies too, like in how to say it, it I don't know, like stories about gods and angels, spirits, and everything.
Yeah.
And well, Western movies don't pay attention to that. It's like more
Okay, well, that
material.
is a big difference. Yes. And here I think that I believe that we cannot understand many things from the movie because it doesn't belong to our culture. For example,
Yes.
names or and all that are lost in the translation, maybe. But I think yes, they are more spiritual. Let's say there are more kami. I believe it is in Japanese the kames, right? It is like gods and goddesses. What do you think, Andrea? What do you think about this? Disney, for example, some Disney's classics, Snow White.
Yeah,
I don't know.
actually, no, actually, what I think about this kind of culture, I mean, or maybe I can just speak about this studio and their productions. I think that they are more like environment uh, oriented. So they
Yeah.
are just focusing on the environment, nature, maybe connected with, I don't know, with their inner culture, their ancient cultures, and
Yeah.
so certain movies are not, in my opinion, of course, there will be, or there could be some kind of movies that are, but I think that Asian movies are more connected with environment and with what is really important for us as people, right? In this movie, I see many different topics, values. I don't know how important is I don't know, family, how important is water. There is always some kind of punchline towards capitalism
Yeah.
and the news. So I think it's always giving some kind of message that goes beyond the story that we can see with our eyes. So there is something, always there is something beyond, and maybe you don't see that with Disney movies. So they are not that deep. That's
Yeah.
why I think that these kind of movies are more interesting to watch. There's always something new. They're metaphorical.
Yes, yes, they are. They are. Because we are going to speak about this idea that you are mentioning now, that is this idea of
Hmm.
environment. Yes. I'm sorry, Luciana, there was some noise there. I don't know if it was you or it was
It's
me or it
okay.
was now.
No,
Yes. Now I can listen to
interesting.
you very well. Yes. I couldn't spot the noise, let's say. Well, I want
Yes,
uh,
very interesting.
well, so we mentioned, we have just mentioned I mean, that Chihiro had to work, right? It is what, where did she work? Where did he have to work?
In a bathhouse.
Yes, it was a
Bathhouse.
bathhouse. Yes, let's see if we can, if my internet connection allows me to do that. We're going to watch uh, some extract from the movie. No, here. And let's see, let's watch this fantasy. Let's see, we can describe the place here. So tell me, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, now you can. Yeah. Okay. Well, so it was not an ordinary bathhouse. Lots of spirits, different shapes, kind of monsters. Well, it was difficult. It was, I think it was at the beginning of the movie. So imagine that for her. Okay. Um, well, I want to focus on one of the main themes of the movie. That is, I think it was your first question, that it was about greed. I think
Yes.
this is one of the main topics of the movie, greed.
Yes.
And the question was, yes, there, greed. I'm sorry. So the questions are, what point does the film make about greed? What happens? I'm sorry, there's a spelling mistake there. What happens when characters become greedy? And what about when they show humility and gratitude? Well,
They are
again,
punished.
they are, I'm sorry, who was that,
They
Andrea?
are like they are punished, like Chihiro's parents that were
Uh-huh.
transformed.
They are punished. Yeah, yes.
Yes, for
Chihira's parents are,
example,
sorry,
I'm
sorry.
not sure, but there is a part I think where No Face is offering gold that I'm not sure what character was that cannot stop asking for more gold, and something happened to them, but I can't remember what.
You can't remember what?
Um,
Who remembers?
that,
Is that Andrea? I'm sorry, I cannot see you.
but I do
That's
remember that it
Luciana.
was not good for them to receive that much gold because it was too much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yes, gold. Well, it is related. They are related. These two terms, gold and being greedy.
Yeah.
Yes, I think the first example, Chihira's parents, right?
Yes.
Yes, they are greedy, and you are saying that they are punished or they were punished. Yes.
Yes.
Luz, what do you think?
They become pigs, eating
Yes.
all the time. And then, well, I was going to talk about the gold, the coins that No Face tried to give Chihiro, but she didn't accept any of them. I remember, I think.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she demonstrated that she wasn't greedy at all.
Right.
And she
Yeah.
didn't want to eat the food that was not hers,
Ah, yes, that's
so
it.
she wasn't ready.
I think that she was a pure character in some way.
Yes.
Yeah, I say she didn't accept the gold. The gold, she couldn't eat that all that food. And why pigs and not any other animal? Why pigs? They were transformed into pigs. Why
I
not,
think
for example?
I think it's
In
symbolic.
culture,
I'm
oh
sorry, who was
yes, in
that?
culture they all always represent greed. Actually, you can say as greedy as a pig,
Yeah.
And also pigs are like a symbol of gluttony.
Yeah.
So they keep on eating until they are like until they are done. Like they never stop. They never stop. You can feed them and feed them and feed them, and they will continue eating all the time. So it's like they are never satisfied with what they have.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough for
Yes,
them.
I think, yes, it is a clear symbol. We have
Mhm.
symbolism there. Well, pigs. What do you think, Luciana? Was that Luciana talking? No. What do you
I
think?
was going to
No,
say the same, that pigs are the only animals I can think of uh, that cannot stop eating because, for example, dogs or cats, in general, animals eat what they need. And it is very rare for me personally to see a fat dog.
Yeah.
Generally, they have the oh, I forgot the word. Uh,
Okay.
yes, they are not generally fat, but pigs are because they eat all the time and they are never satisfied.
All
Yes.
right. I think that it is also a way of showing a kind of transition between the adultness or the adulthood with this childhood as well, because we have the innocence of a girl who is quite mature, and then we have that of these adult people who are, well, who are affected by some of these sins, for example, to be greedy. And what about when they show humility and gratitude? I think it is connected to no face and the idea of offering gold. So when what happens, or what about when they show humility and gratitude? What happens to them in the movie? Do you remember?
I
No.
don't remember at all.
You remember the punishment, or you only the
Yes.
punishment?
All the bad things and ugly things I can remember. I was very traumatized when I first watched the movie
Yeah.
because I was very like younger. I was younger
Uh-huh.
and it was
When the
terrible. But I
parents became, when
watched
the
it
yeah,
many times after that. Yes. What?
when the
Sorry.
parents became pigs, I
Yes.
think that yes,
Yes.
it was well, yes, it was shocking for me as well, because we expect some fantasies, some innocent things, and it is not like that. So you see the pigs, like real pigs, not talking pigs, and
Not
it
not cute pigs. Like no.
right, and that is kind of, yeah, traumatizing in some way. So yes, it is not like the Western movies. I mean, again, Disney movies, they are, it is different, it is very different. Well, all right, let's go. This is about greed. Anything else that you would like to add about greed in the movie?
Yes, but I think
Yes.
it is present in the following questions, the fact that, uh, for example, the river, I'm not sure if it's correct that the Haku, who was originally a river,
Uh-huh.
he was, there was so much greed in the world that he was, I'm not sure why he is not a river anymore, because of the constant construction of buildings made by mankind.
Yes. This leads us to the next question. That was this environmental topic. So how are the
Yes,
themes of environmental concern explored in the film? And I think that Haku, yes, Haku is the representation in some way of environment here.
it
And
is
of course,
connected with greed and pollution,
yeah. How do
because
I
It
it
was
know?
is what we do in real life.
Again.
That's what people do in real life. The whole, it is connected greed with capitalism and pollution and environment.
Again, you see? Yes. So Haku was a kind of spirit. Yes, he was a dragon, right? And he was, do you remember?
Okay.
Yes, tell me. Who was that?
No, because I was not sure how the river was connected to him. If he was a river, if he was a dragon. I
He was
wasn't
a
sure.
yes, he was a dragon. He was a kind of spirit of the river. So
Ah,
he used to
okay.
live, yeah, he used to live in the river, but something
I did
happened.
not understand that. Maybe it was the translation.
I
Yeah,
think there
well,
was another character that like personified the river. One god that smelled terribly.
Because
I,
there's a scene where Chihiro said to him that she loved him because she knew him from before, and she said that she was about to drown when she was younger,
Yes,
and
and he saved her.
yes.
yeah,
So that they had met before,
Mhm.
yes,
and she remembered his name.
Uh-huh.
So
His real name,
his
right?
real, yes, his real name,
Yeah.
his real name. And Well, so what conclusion can we take from that? That he was spirit of the river, and Chihiro had met him before when she was almost about to drown or something of the sort. I cannot remember very
Yes.
well. But now he's not spirit of the river anymore. He's a kind of helper
think
of this Yubaba, I think it was the name. Yes, Yubaba. He was a Yubaba's
Because
helper.
he
Yeah,
he forgot her name, his name. Sorry.
yeah.
But I think I think he
Sorry,
he lost it because he's like not a river anymore. Like I imagine this.
yes, yes. We have to
I
take some conclusions or to make some hypothesis because it is not very clear in the movie. So the idea
yes.
is to interpret that. So he was a kind of,
He
yes, Luz, tell me.
like he like he's not a river anymore, and then he is like in that space where there are many spirits and gods. And I remember about the pollution and all that. They had a client, the smelly one, the one that was
Ah,
unbearable.
yeah,
And
stink
Chihiro like
spirit.
cleans it. Eh?
Uh-huh. A kind of
And he was,
sting spirit. Yes, yes, I remember.
sticky,
yes, and
the
he
stinky
was a
one.
river too, as Haku, but he
Right.
was very polluted. He had
Right.
like bikes. I don't.
Yeah, you are right. Yes,
Yes.
you are right. It was a new spirit and with the face of an old man, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, yes, and he was a kind of, yes, he was wounded with a bicycle and everything. It was all
Yeah.
trash or rubbish inside him. So if he was, I mean, a spirit of the river, so it could have happened something similar to Haku, maybe. And well, yes, and Haku, I think it was we have some clues in the movie when the river disappeared and new buildings were built in that place. So I think that is connected to the environment as well. So I believe that Haku
Like it's
represents.
like the river, like listen, um, his its own like I can't get a word. I have been thinking about this during all your conclusions or all your hypotheses, but then it's like losing its own identity, right? Like not being the river anymore. So I think that Haku got lost in that, and maybe because
Yeah.
of capitalism, maybe because of
Okay,
pollution.
Andrea, stop. Remember
Yeah, sure.
that concept because we are going to connect again. Remember the
All
concept
right.
of identity because it's going to be cut off. I mean, uh,
Good.
the concept of this idea of identity. I like that.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to talk about that. Okay. So we're going to connect again
Okay.
because it's going to finish now. Okay.
All right.
Luciana, Andrea, and Luz.